Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Murmuhu. We saw Shravana. We came to Kirtana of the Navada Bhakti. So we see how the internal transformation takes place. Shravana entering within us, Lord in some form and pervading the whole being. What we hear, we assimilate, make it raktagata. It must enter the bones and marrows. To that extent of we do the kirtana, repeating the name and glories of God. So this kirtana, whose kirtana? Kirtanam Vishnoho. Vishnoho. Vishnu. The term Vishnu, Shankaracharya defines as the all-pervading consciousness. The individual consciousness that pervades my individual human beings or living beings, the bodily existence, the consciousness that pervades we call Jivatman. The consciousness that pervades the universe we call Paramatman, or the Ishvara, or the Lord of the universe, who governs the world by pervading it and gives existence to all that exists. Vishnu, from the Vishnu is from Vishnu Dhatu, which means the pervading, Vishlatvat, the all-pervading consciousness, the Chaitanya. The all-pervadingness is the God who pervades everything, God who is present in everywhere. The omniscience is the most important, and that is God is pervading everything, omnipresent, omnipresence, He is all-knowing, omniscience. Omnipresence is all-pervading, everywhere. You can see Him in your own heart, you can see in every object, you can see in the air and space. And His magnificence, His glory and greatness. That is, nothing can oppose it, nothing can challenge it, nothing can reach it to that extent of magnificence. That glory, what we call singing the names and glories of God. Vishnu means the Lord of the universe, who pervades the entire universe and gives existence to it and governs all lives and the entire universe through His power, Shakti. So His kirtana, we do His kirtana. And what happens? What is that we are? By kirtana, we saw various aspects of kirtana. What are the benefits that how it, like rainwater, how it gets sunk, everything, how it pervades all layers of my existence, the Lord's presence, all that we saw. One, two important things we must remember is I must be able to, whatever I hear, the receptivity. I hear, I receive it. Receptivity must be there in me. When I read, when I go to satsanga, when I hear from the Guru, or by any means, whatever I have heard about God and spiritual life and things like that, I must be able to receive it, receptivity, understanding. I must cognition. And then I must be able to reproduce it, project it back. These three powers that I am able to receive it, Grahana Shakti, the Dharana Shakti, to hold it in me, Dharana Shakti, to understand it to the extent possible, because God cannot be understood, He can be only realized by to the extent my sadhana has to go on, my inner journey I must be able to take up. I must be able to take up journey to that realm, to that extent of understanding. Just like I am keeping a map, holding a map, I am going to certain places. To have to possess that map and understand what is necessary. So that I must be able to understand, I must have the knack of reading the map and setting the directions. Map is there, I have to set its direction and see where is what and how to go. To that extent of understanding, cognition, Grahana Shakti, then understanding capacity, Jnana Shakti, and then retention, Dharana Shakti. I must be, whatever I have understood, whatever I have known, whatever I have grasped, I must be able to retain it, Dharana Shakti. And then I must be able to reproduce it in exact time, at a unbroken, anusmarana. I must be able to reproduce it. These four aspects of my understanding, my grasping is called Medha Shakti. I must develop that. What happens by Kirtana is there is Medha awakening within you. Medha is power of grasping, receptivity, the understanding, then dharana, shakti, and reproduction power to capacity to reproduce it, projection. I'm spirit projection. So these four powers together is called Medha Shakti. When you do the Kirtana, these powers are getting awakened within you. Whatever, see, go on repeating the names and glories of God is something like you are revising each time. Children, like small children, are practicing rhymes, nursery rhymes. They few times they tell, old age also it is they are able to reproduce. How it goes inside, how it gets registered, how they hold on to. They remember their small days at the old age. We used to chant this in home. Some shlokas, Bhagavata shlokas, Bhagavad Gita shlokas, the children used to grasp in those days, our times. They will be able to tell at all times. To that extent it goes inside. Grahana Shakti, Dharana Shakti, and to reproduce it in the times of need and to have a clear understanding of what this God is, how is He to look, how He compassionate is, what is my relationship with, how to develop relationship. Now, this is one, Dharana Shakti is one thing that awakens within us. The second thing we see, that is another aspect, I am slowly, my innate nature, each one has a particular nature, and nature that manifests. Lives after lives I have spent in this world, and I have acquired certain tendencies. According to that tendency, I like a particular relationship at all times. Suppose I am accustomed with friendship, I want to be friend. I like friends. I like friends more than my family members. I want to be in friendship, Sakhya. So I develop a particular type of, I have acquire matritva, motherhood in me. I would like to have, I like small children moving about around me because I have that vatsalya in my heart. Similarly, I like to be a small child taken care by others. So I feel that, oh, somebody must take care of me. It is so nice. Somebody must give me love and protection. So this is what my innate nature, this nature slowly projects out with respect to God. That is, people might have told me so many things. I might have heard about Dasya from Hanuman, Sakya from Arjuna, various ways of relationship they had, Devaki having or Yashoda having Vatsalya towards Krishna. All these relationship might have been there in my mind. I might have enjoyed all of that. But I have my own individual nature which I have developed. It is one with my whole existence. And that is what my innermost core of my being is seeking always. A kind of, that is where I interact with another life. So I am interacting with life of all lives. The innumerable jivas are there. It is God who is projecting Himself through in and all jivas. What I expect from anybody at any time is what I expect from God also. So my innate nature projects out and develops a beautiful relationship with. I want to be a small child on the mother's lap. I feel God is my mother, God is my father. So that relationship, I want to take that God in my arms and love Him like a child. So I enter into different relationships. That relationship becomes permanent and eternal. And after we transcend the nature and go beyond into the eternal life also, we see we wish to retain that difference. Don't want to become one with God. I want to retain that separation and enjoy the separation. But I enter into eternity with that life. I remain all these, whatever relationships, whatever I enjoy in this world, into whatever I participate is passing event. Whoever enters in my life goes away. Swami Vivekananda says, whomever I loved has gone away from me. Whomever, we to see that all those people who come into my life in various ways, with various relationships, they all are going away. And I am left alone. So at all times, I am alone because there is no eternity. And last, I have to leave this body also and go away. There is no continuation. There is no, I cease to exist with this bodily existence, or the others cease to exist. The relationship breaks. With each life, I am going to end all my relationships of this world. And before that, many relationships break off because of the impermanency of the world. But here, as I project my love for God, as I understand, I am holding on to God. In this God, my Meda Shakti has awakened to give me absolute clarity. I understand my Meda Shakti is revealing the Lord's Leela. He is revealing His presence. I am able to clearly see His existence, His pervasion, His various aspects, His Leela, His form. So many things are becoming clear to me by Meda Shakti. I am entering into relationship. My relationship also is awakening. I am entering into relationship with God. And this relationship Because God is eternal and my relationship, my whole bodily existence, which is impermanent, slowly goes away from my awareness. This is an important aspect. As I love God, I become less and less bodily existence. I become more and more spiritual being. That is, I am moving towards the Atma Jnana also. As I move to the Devata Jnana or Brahma Jnana, or realizing the more I love God, I am becoming more self. Means there I am seeing eternity. God is eternal, an imperishable existence, and I too, slowly loving Him, something emerges out of my bodily existence. Slowly, I am forgetting the bodily existence, this world, these relationships, everything. And all the body mind is doing all its activities and everything, but something is emerging out of me. My eternal being is emerging out of me and entering into eternal relationship. This is an important aspect of our kirtana. Kirtana, on one side, God's omnipresence I am seeing, God's magnificence I am seeing. On the other side, I am seeing everything regarding God and His existence, the reality. Everything is shining in my awareness because of the Medha awakened in me. And my individual existence is separating. I am becoming, slowly I am moving towards the immortal being, immortality. I am understanding my immortality. I am getting a touch of the eternal. I am getting a touch of infinity beyond time and space, because all this, what was connected with my bodily existence, was within time and space limits. Now it is breaking the time and space limits. I am entering into eternal relationship with God. In these, under these circumstances also, we fail to get the vision of God. With so much of elevation of our state of existence, my mind may not be able to clearly understand these things, what is happening in the inner layers of my being. I am just singing and going the name. I hear some of the devotees who constantly hear the kirtana or the bhajans and singing of the, in sleep also they continue to hear. In dream also they continue to hear. In waking also. While waking up from sleep, the same thing is coming out from their mouth. So how deeper layers it enters, you see. What might be happening in our inner layers where mind cannot turn inward and see. When you are sleeping with the thought of God and waking up with the thought of God, then you know that your inner layers are filled with God. And what is happening there within me is unknown to me, because mind cannot reach my inner resources, inner recesses, inner cell. It cannot penetrate. As it goes, mind dissolves away. So there will be a day comes when the inner self manifests completely with a longing heart that God manifests in form. Now He is all pervading. You are in Him, He is in you. That clarity is there of God's presence also I am feeling intensely. But I did not have vision of God because I have not grown to that extent. A day comes when each soul grows in and through this. See, Shravana, Kirtana. The second stage itself is so much elevating, but we do all the layers together almost. we don't differentiate and keep the things apart. I am doing the continuation of satsanga, mixing with the devotees who sing the names and glories of God. I am there continuing the Shravana, and I am doing the Kirtana also. I am doing Smarana also. Various aspects of Navada Bhakti will be going together. That I am not going to leave something and come away, because all these factors are necessary to support me in every respect, lift me to the optimum growth, that I am able to get the vision of God. I am able to realize Him, know Him directly, face to face. I must be able to come. So this aspect of the kirtana, that I am repeating loudly, or a kind of loudness which I can hear within myself. Sometimes the soul shouts and calls on God. I am still sitting, no sound is coming out, but my that vyakulata inside is deeply calling God, as if He is shouting from within. We see in times of danger, in times of fear, in times of anxiety, in times of calamity, our soul stretches out and shouts. Nobody can hear, but my soul is shouting at God, please come, where are you, where are you, I am in danger. So it can be, that's also a kirtana unheard by people, but it is blasting forth from my inside and calling on God. This is also kirtana. As we go on doing kirtana, we see in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, this one is going on doing kirtana. Slowly the kirtana, the word, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ra, Ra, Hare Ra, 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 Ha, Ha. It is not able to continue. It slowly, the Ha, Hare, Ha itself is difficult to come out, and it slowly becomes silent. But that Hare Ram is going on within. It is not coming out in the form of Vaikari anymore. It is getting absorbed within. Like Radha is to shower her tears, and after some time you see the tears have stopped. It used to evaporate in the eye itself. There's so much of tears flowing because of the vyakulata. It is to, like that, the Sankirtan is going on within with all force, but the external manifestation is there very little. So the Kirtana is making us a something, it is transporting us from one level of existence to some other level of existence. So in the Kirtana, we see a vertical evolution. And as the see, there are two aspects. One is expansion, another is vertically going up, elevation. We see that in Shravana, my understanding is expanding. And in Kirtana, with the expansion, there is elevation also. It is like from the earth, a small stone is coming up, projecting out, and it is, as it is growing out, it is becoming a small hill. Then it is still raising, and the same hill is expanding its base and becoming a huge mountain. So you see the base is expanding by itself, and the height is raising also. It is a stable state of existence. It is a firm, stable state of existence. So in Kirtana, you get established in God. The assimilation is there, everything is there. In the end, you see, you are getting established. This is what we see, and this is called becoming, attaining, becoming Tejasvi. Tejasvinavadi tamastuma vidvishavai. Let us attain the Tejas, Tejasvi. Tejasvi is to, whole thing is getting radiated. My whole being is assisting. My whole being, my mind, my intellect, my bodily existence. I am doing some kirtana. All are participating in such a way that everything is helping my evolution. Everything is helping my growth. Everything is helping my development. Everything is making me towards the attainment. That is the Tejasvi. Tejasvinavadi tamastuma. Tejasvinavadi tamastuma. Vidvishavahai. So this Tejas is a faculty in us where I am in a state of integrated existence. Or usually man splits up into many. He is one with father, he is one with mother, he is one with friends, he is one with the people around, one in the shrine, one with the temple. Different personalities are mixed up. Mind is also going in different directions. It wants this, it wants that, it wants to be here, it wants to be there. It has got so many desires and ambitions. When all these collectively become one and there is integration of personality, the one pointed existence, all remaining as they are but helping the growth in one direction. You can see the seed when it is put in the water, how it swells up. It is swelling up at the same time. Every part of its existence is trying to push that sprout outside. The only thing it's making is it is sprouting for what? To take root in the ground. It is taking root in the ground and then the petal leaves and shoot comes up. Shoot is still in the earth and the root comes out first. Root projects out first and then we see the leaves coming out. So this we see the Tejas is where we leave the roots in God and wake up to the world. He is here. The understanding, the clear understanding of His existence, we are able to see everywhere Him. I am firmly established in God from within. I have not seen Him yet. But I have that total establishment. How long it may take, God realization for many may take 1 or 2 lives, depending upon how much you are able to devote, how much you are capable of giving yourself entirely, how much deeply you are into, how much longing you are feeling for Him. It depends upon most. If you go with all intensity, as the Lord says, keep bringing the activities to minimum level. Devote your whole attention. These are inevitable things you do, avoidable things you leave, because your status doesn't demand it. Your status demands total dedication to your ideal. Time is passing, life is going. How many lives will you take? And why should you go ahead with unnecessary things? Avoid, drop away all defects, drop away, chase behind this world for name, fame, putreshna, vitteshna, lokalshana, all drop away. And a few years that we are going to live here in this world, totally dedicated at the feet of God and transcend this nature and be free. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.